can you cut? You say you can cut. That's what your IG say, bro.
What's going on, my barber family? How y'all doing? This is Johnny from Dudecancut TV. Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to do a ball fade using detachable blades only. All my detachable blade barbers out there, this one is for you. If you never faded with detachable blades, please, get yourself something to drink, get you some popcorn, sit back and watch. And so right now, as I'm cutting, I'm using my outliner blade to create the first guideline, and this goes all the way to the skin. I am going to use my trimmers to go back over it. I'm just so used to doing that. I didn't necessarily need to do that, and so I'm going to use my trimmers in a second to go over that. So I'm going to create that line all the way around my client's head to give me some balance and to get this fade started, man. And so as you can see right now, I'm using my Sabre trimmers, my favorite trimmers of all time still right now. Y'all already know how crazy I am about them. Just to do some cleanup work, get a little bit more flexibility with the trimmers as opposed to the detachable blades. I can get a little bit closer. So the first blade I am using to start this fade off with is going to be a number 1. I'm going to take the number 1 about a ½ inch up to create the first guideline in this fade. And so this is how I learned how to fade. I remember being in barber school, learning how to fade. They taught us how to fade with blades first before we used guards. So in my opinion, I enjoy using blades. I still use guards too. I use the magnetic Andis guards. Those are my favorite guards as well. And so I like blades. It's just a different cut. I feel like it cuts a little bit closer, a little bit more finer, and I feel like my fades last a little longer when I'm cutting with metal as opposed to cutting with plastic. That's just my personal opinion. But if you're a barber, if you never faded this way, I would encourage you to do it. It's really cool to add to your repertoire. So as you can see, I'm taking that number 1 all the way up, and I'm moving the camera around so y'all can see about a ½ inch up, and gonna get him nice and clean on the sides and get this fade going, man. So this is one of my boys. He's from Chicago as well, and so we always have a good time. Whenever he comes to the barbershop, we talk about sports, we talk about life, we talk about life in Tampa versus in Chicago, and so it's cool. So the next blade, I think did I switch the blade? No, it's still number 1. I'm sorry. I'll be moving so fast when I be doing this, man. I don't even think no more. But I already know the next blade I'm going to use is an OA blade, and so that's right below a 1. And I'm just going to attack that line. And right now I'm just getting some of the bulk out and some of the weight out. I'm not going past the line I created already. I'm just making sure this is nice and clean so I won't have to go over it again. So I believe I'm going to change the blade at this point. So I'm just wiping off the hair there. I should have just used my little brush, but I just, I'm old school. So I'm going to use whatever I see right there on the spot, man. So wiping that down. And I'm going to use my OA blade to attack that first bottom line there. There we go. Now I'm changing the blade. There we go. So yeah, all I'm doing right now, I'm just focusing on that bottom line that we created with the 1. I'm just taking the OA blade and I'm just tapping away at that line and making sure we're gonna blend right into the skin. So this is a very easy way to fade. If you don't know how to fade, it's a 1 blade and the OA, and below an OA is a 000, and then that should blend right into the skin. And you may need to use your outliner blade or your 50 if you use the 50 blade, or just some trimmers to attack the very faint line that you may still see, because the 000 won't get it completely faded into the skin. So you may have to still use whatever you put the line in with to fade that line out at the very bottom. So I'm just taking my time, not rushing. I think fading this way is way faster. As you can see, I'm only like 5-6 minutes in. I haven't even touched the top yet. So I like to fade from the bottom up. That's just the way I like to do it. I feel like it's a faster, more efficient way. Depending on the hair texture and depending on what I'm doing, I may fade from the top down as well. So I can fade a lot of different ways. So So yeah, I'm just using that 08 blade and I'm just focusing on that line, just taking my time, going all the way around the head. And so some of you watching, you may think, oh, this is slower. I would rather use the my Masters or my Style Crafts or Babyless, whatever clipper you use, your wall. And that's what makes this craft fun, man, because we all got different ways of doing things. There's no right way to fade. You can fade however you want to fade, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I do think you should have different techniques to fade in your repertoire, just in case. It may be one day you're doing a house call and you forgot your guards at the shop. All you need is a comb. All you need is a comb. If you know how to fade, all you need is some sharp clippers and a comb, and you can do the same fade without guards or without blades. You could just need some sharp clippers with a comb. And so yeah, as you can see, I'm just taking my time focusing on that bottom line, because I want to be able to use the 000 or I believe the outliner blade to just fade that line out. And it's coming out pretty good, as you can see. It's coming out pretty good. Just taking my time fading that bottom line out, and I'm getting it as close to faded as I can before I pick up my next blade. So yeah, and I'm also using the Andis Post ZR2. I got these a couple months back. I absolutely love these. These are, in my opinion, the strongest detachable clipper available. I still do like the Oster Octanes. Those are fire. Those are way lighter. I have those in my travel kit. I just prefer to use the Andis right now. I'm team Andis right now, so they win in my heart. So I believe the blade that's on there now is a 000, and I'm just focusing on that. Yeah, it is. I'm just focusing on that bottom line and fading that out as best as I can. So yeah, it's all on your wrist, man. And I think with detachables, it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of what you're doing. You know exactly what level it is that you're working on, and you don't have to think, you don't have to guess. It's one at a time, one blade at a time, and your fade will be perfect. If you take your time, your fade will be perfect every single time. You don't have to worry about nothing shifting on you or the lever moving on you. It's all the same level. Whatever blade you put on that, that's how much hair is going to come off. And so fading this way is dope. I like it, depending on the client and what I'm doing. So I saw that, like I said earlier, that my fades last a lot longer whenever I fade with blades versus guards. That's just me. Let me know in the comments, do you fade with blades? Have you ever faded with blades? Have you ever tried to fade with blades? And if you liked it or didn't like it, why or why not? Let's talk about it in the comments, fellas. Barbers. So that's a number 2 I just put on there, and that's the level we're going to take the hair down with. We're going to go all the way, we're going to go against the grain all the way around with a number 2. And that's the length, that's the level he likes it. He don't like it any lighter than that. So we're going to do a number 2. I'm going to go against the grain and cutting against the grain around the entire top of his head. So yeah, as you can see, I'm only like almost 10 minutes in, and I'm not speeding. I'm just taking my time. I'm not speeding at all. I'm just taking my time and getting all of this hair down so we can finish fading him. So we're just taking our time, going against the grain, getting all of those dark spots, making sure I attack all the dark spots. You got a couple swirls in the back, as you can see. But we're gonna get them all even. We're gonna get them nice and even on the top at number 2. Yeah, this is gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I think we're talking about Michael Jordan and LeBron or something right now. That's all we talk about half the time. But yeah, I think using blades, like for a novice barber, I'm talking to my novices, that's my students, my barbers that are still in school or about to finish school. Learn how to use detachable blades. Don't be one of those guys that never uses it. It's like a black barber that don't know how to use shears. Use it. This is part of your craft. So I would encourage you to get yourself some blades, get yourself a detachable clipper, and just learn it. Learn all ways of cutting. Learn all ways of cutting. You won't regret it. It's just gonna make you better. It's just gonna make you better. for the first 4 or 5, like the first 3 years of my career, I didn't really know how to use shears. They didn't really teach us that when I was in barber school. So I had to learn in the shop by watching other barbers, asking questions, and I had to learn how to cut some hair down with shears. I did not know what the heck I was doing at first. So hope that encouraged you, man. So if you've never used detachables, do yourself a favor, invest in some, and use them here and there. Use them to bring the hair down. Use them on kids. Use them to cut the hair down. You may not want to fade with them. That's fine. You don't have to. But open up your mind, open up your horizon, and learn how to use all different types of tools, all different ways of cutting. It's just gonna make you better. It's gonna make you better, and it's gonna justify your price. If you want to charge premium rates, you should be a premium barber that knows his or her tools well. So that's a 2. I'll cut the top down. So I believe that's an 18 skip blade. Love this blade. This blade is so underrated. If you have detachables and don't have an 18 skip, you are missing out. This is almost like a thinning shear, but it's a blade. So as you can see, I'm blending and texturizing his hair as I'm going against the grain. It's already blending some of the hair down. So I'm not really cutting a lot of length. This is a blending blade. It's perfect for what I'm doing right now. So I'm just attacking that line. I'm just blending that fade, blending the top end with the sides. It's gonna be fire. So yeah, this is one of my favorite blades. I just wanted to zoom in and show y'all that. And this is a fire blade. You definitely need to have your 18 skip, especially if you're cutting a lot of ethnic hair, a lot of African American hair. You need you an 18 skip. It's gonna save you so much time. When you're cutting waves, this is my favorite blade to use when I'm cutting a lot of deep waves. Guys got waves on the top, I'll use an 18 skip to go with the grain, and it comes out fire every time. So as you can see, this 18 skip is really helping me cheat a little bit. It's helping me kind of skip the line. I'm just blending some of this hair down as opposed to taking my 1.5, which I'm gonna probably use next, to blend the levels down, blend the hair down. So as you can see, I'm attacking that swirl that's in the back. You got crazy swirl right there. So I'm trying to attack that without patching him. That's why I use the 18 skip. If I would have used something like an OA in that area, I might have patched him and cut him too low. Because remember, he has a 2 on the top. So now I'm trying to blend that line into that 2 and into the 1 and into the 0. So it's all levels. That's all this is. It's all levels. And so that is a 1.5. And so I'm just gonna take my time and focus on that faint line that's in his fade. I'm just attacking that. I had to double check, make sure I'm using it, because one time I put an OA on a blade on a detachable clipper. I thought it was a 1A, and I had to recover. I had to fade that out because I went super low on one side on one guy before, but I had to fade that out, man. So it happens every so often. Pick up the wrong tools. Like I got a Fat Master blade, and I got the fade blade, and they both are my gold Andis. And one time I picked up my fade blade and thought it was the Fat Master, and yeah, I almost gouged the client with that joint. But it happens. It's part of our job. It happens. But so that's the 1.5 I just put on there. I believe this is a 1A now, and I'm just focusing on that line. I'm just taking it down one level at a time. As y'all can see, that's all this is. There's no guesswork. It's just one level at a time. If you know the levels of the hair, and you know what you put on the top, and the blades and how much they cut, this is easy. This is so easy. This fade is just about done. It's been 15 minutes. Like, if I wanted to speed and get him out, I can get him out of here. I could have got him out in 10 minutes if I wasn't shooting and filming. But this my dog. He don't like to be rushed, so I'm not gonna rush him out of here. But I enjoy fading this way because I feel like it takes so much guesswork out, and it's just easy. As you can see, this fade is looking pretty fire on this side. So I'm just taking my time with the 1A. I'm just focusing on those little dark spots at this point, and getting it together. Yeah. Same thing I'm doing with the back. Just focusing on the dark spots, attacking that line, making sure his fade is nice and blended into the skin. And when you're a barber and you know different ways to do different things, customers love that, because I guarantee you, you will be in a situation where your guards just don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same. It's the texture of hair. It just don't hit the same. So I'm telling you, learn how to use detachable blades. Learn it. Even if you use it once a year, learn it. Learn it, yo. Learn it. And it will take so much guesswork out of your fading and your blending. If you're a new barber and you're just struggling with fading and which guards to use, and the hair ain't coming down right, learn how to fade with blades. I guarantee you, if you learn how to fade with blades, it would make you a better barber with your adjustables, because now your eye is better, because you can see what a 1A looks like, you can see what a 2 looks like, you can see what an OA looks like, because you've already trained yourself with using the blades. So I would encourage you to do that, man, if you haven't. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just focusing on the dark spots right now. His fade is just almost done. So this side had a lot of swirls, so I'm just focusing on that, making sure that's nice and blended, because if it's not, it's gonna look a little patchy and look a little weird, right? So just making sure he's nice and blended before we move on to the next part of the haircut. So the fade is done, top is good. So now I'm gonna hit him with some shaving cream on this lineup. I'm gonna give him a little line in preparation before I line him up here. I'm gonna use a hot towel to get him together. If you're not doing this, you're losing. I'm telling you, clients love the hot towel. Don't be a super speed barber where you just don't have time to do any of this. Your clients will appreciate it. Trust me. I use a hot towel on almost everybody, and they love it. That's why they come back to me. So I'm putting a little bit of shaving cream there just to clean his skin, and also to lay the front of his hair down. This is a little hack. You could put shaving cream on somebody's hair and brush it down, and it'll act like a foam. And so I'm using a foam that right now, actually, I'm using a foam, but if you didn't have foam, you can use shaving cream. And it's just gonna cleanse his hair. And I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna brush his hair down. I'm gonna just brush it down with my hand and make sure it's all going the way it should go. And my hot towel is gonna help lay all of his hair down and give his hair a good preparation before I edge him up. And so I got a super duper hot towel. I'm putting this on my man's. You already know what it is. Yep, super hot towel. Putting it on this lineup and on the top of his head. Feels amazing. Can't help but to close your eyes, right? Feels amazing. Clients love this. They love to feel a little bit of pampering when you're giving them a haircut. So I would add this service to your haircut. I wouldn't charge more for it. I would just, I would just do this to my clients. I just love to serve people. So if you enjoy serving people, you want to give them a little treat, give them a little hot towel every so often. Give them a hot towel, man, or incorporate this in your service. You won't lose by doing that. So I'm just wiping off all of the shaving cream and all of the foam. Make sure his head is nice and clean before we line him up. So I'm sure that feels amazing, getting all of that off. He won't stop talking. We having a blast, right? We talking about the Bears or something. We talking about sports. It's my man. We always talk about sports. So yeah, man. So I'm getting ready to edge him up in a second, and get him together. So now I'm blow drying his hair, making sure it's all nice and dry. Right. So I'm using my Andis T outliner to get ready to line them up. And I always start in the middle, go from one side to the next, and just take my time, making sure he's nice and straight. He does not want enhancements. He don't like that. You'd be surprised on how many people don't want enhancements. So do not be that barber that just starts spraying everybody without asking. So ask them before you put any enhancements on there. He don't want that. He's a natural guy. He goes work out a lot. He don't want anything dripping. He don't want any enhancements. So I didn't use any enhancements on this haircut. And y'all know I don't feel like I'm gonna be putting a lot of those type of haircuts on my channel anyway, because there's so much to go around. So y'all don't need to learn how to use a pencil from me or anything like that. There's so many other barbers already doing that. So these are everyday, weekly, or bi-weekly clients. When I post these videos, it's gonna be weekly, bi-weekly clients, and you know, they're just nice, bright, nice. They just want a regular haircut. So I did that side. I'm finna focus on the other side. I'm just taking my time. He's a little thin in the corners. I tried to give him some enhancements when I first started cutting, and he's like, "Nah, I don't do that, bro. I'm good. Can you get it crispy without it?" And it was like a challenge. Like, you know, if you can get it crispy without it, we good. So I'm like, absolutely, bro. I come from an era where we didn't have enhancements. So do not lean on that. Don't lean on enhancements. I remember when I first started using enhancements, man, it was addictive. I was spraying and putting follicles on everybody. So I'm guilty of it too when it first dropped. So, but now I'm back to being more of a natural barber. Clients want it, they got to pay for it. So I charge extra for it. I do not give it away for free. Do not give that stuff away for free. It's not cheap to buy enhancements, to buy spray, and to buy the follicles. It's not cheap. So don't give it away for free. Charge people for that. So you deserve that. So I'm just making sure he is nice and straight. So I got my razor now going against the grain. Nope, I'm not going to use no pencil. I'm not going to use any of that. Just making sure he's nice and straight, nice and clean. Now I'm taking the razor. I'm going with the grain. I'm going down on his lineup too, to make sure we're all nice and clean, man. So I don't want his lining to move whatsoever. I want everything to be nice and straight and clean, man. So I'm finishing up this haircut. This has been a blast, y'all. I got to do more of these. So I am going to be moving spaces, so the next couple videos may look a little different. So I will see y'all in the next video. If y'all have any questions about this haircut, some things I missed, I'm sure I did miss because I cut pretty fast, you know. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think of the cut. Anything I could have did better. I see a couple things. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is Johnny from Dudecancut TV, man. Thank you and God bless you. I will see you guys in the next video. If you made it all the way to the end, salute to you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Until then,
just chill to the next episode.
Dudecancut.com